Yeah, you guys are gonna love her. She is Black Sheep's funniest friend. She is she's a mom, but she's super hilarious. She won out of all the 26 people. You guys probably know her, but if you don't know her yet, you're gonna want to get to know her. Her name is Danielle Anders, everybody. Danielle!
Thank you guys. As Angie said, my name is Danielle Anders. I'm so happy to be here tonight. It's way better than where I was this afternoon, which was in line at Fred Meyer with my 3-year-old, behind a lady with a mustache. So it's like waiting for a grenade to explode. I keep looking at him. Sweat running down my side. I'm really happy to be here. I love Black Sheep comedy. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to compete in a competition. It was really fun. I'm still pretty inexperienced by comedian standards. I was asking some comedians for advice, just about tonight, what I should expect. They're like, hey, you're going to have all this energy and you're going to bring a lot of your own expectations and then you're probably going to be terrible. Great, so basically the same advice I got for my wedding night. My husband's really supportive too. He pulled me aside right before I walk on stage. He's like, statistically, most people would rather die than walk onto that stage. Good talk, thanks. I get asked a lot, how did you get interested in stand-up? I'm a stay-at-home mom. So basically I'm a professional at making people cry. I'm like, I think it's time to branch out. So, naturally the first step should be stand-up comedy, right? I'm also a homeschool mom. Thank you. Really this is just a really elaborate exercise in socialization. So I left my house without sweatpants or essential oils. Just kidding. I still bought essential oils. I know there's a stereotype about people like me, but not all homeschool moms have braided hair and wear ankle-length denim skirts. Okay? It's just the moms whose kids are actually learning something. It's hard, you have this desire to homeschool, but you also have this desire to still be cool. But you can't paper mache your cake and eat it too. I try to operate in that sweet spot, where my kids are happy and they're thriving, but I don't have to grind my own wheat or hand sew pilgrim dresses. And I want my kids to be articulate and smart, but I also want to know when we're in public, don't speak in iambic pentameter. It's really fun, but people think it's weird. Speaking of weird, I think I saw some other homeschoolers out there earlier. I noticed them because they brought a library book, just in case. I should be hurt, but respect. I really do love homeschooling. I feel like I've learned a lot about cherishing my kids. Because when you're home with your kids all day, every day, you really start to realize, you don't want to be home with your kids all day, every day. That's okay. My kids are excited for me too, as I've learned about stand-up, and I think it's good for them to see me kind of get out, try something new. I like to be the lead learner, and for them to see me get out. Just kidding. I was coming down the stairs tonight and my 8-year-old stops me and she goes, wow, what happened? Did you take a shower? Is it Daddy's birthday? I like to take those moments to remind my kids that just because something's true doesn't mean you need to say it out loud. as a woman, you have this, if you start with a really high standard of personal hygiene, it's really easy to lose grounds. You show up to your first book study with a ponytail, everybody's like, she's really let herself go. So I gotta swing in the other direction. I have very low standards. If I wash my hair, my friends are like, you look amazing. The men in the room may not realize this. There's kind of this spectrum of acceptable cleanliness among women. It's kind of like those $2, $5, $10 car washes. This lady's like, it's so true. I don't like the $2 quickie wash, undercarriage only. Maybe a $5 wash, undercarriage, and a shampoo. Or like church. There is a $10 wash, undercarriage, shampoo, full detail. That means you have to shave underarms and legs, and not just from your knee down, okay? Your whole leg. You maybe have been married longer than 10 years of just basic personal hygiene is considered foreplay. He sees you shaving your legs or brushing your teeth. Oh yeah. Takes his socks off. There is a $20 wash. I know, it's unfathomable, but there is. Undercarriage, shampoo, full detail, and a wax. This is reserved for very special occasions, like your wedding. Okay, basically just your wedding. My husband is really encouraging. He's great. He's kind of come up with this incentive program to encourage me. It's like a punch card system. 10 washes and I get a free back rub. But it's been my experience that me getting a back rub isn't really about me getting a back rub. I think trying to get a back rub from your husband is kind of like trying to share ice cream with a 2-year-old. He's like, one for you, one for me. One for you, one for me. One for me, one for me, one for me. I really feel like it would have been helpful if early on, maybe premarital counseling, the pastor sat down with us, he looks at the husband, he's like, hey, you need to take your wife at her word, and when she says everything's fine, don't believe that, that's a lie. And then he looks at me, and he's like, hey, the back rub's over when he touches the side boob. I feel like that would have brought a lot of peace to our marriage. If I had known that ahead of time. I will literally pay a stranger $100 an hour to not touch my side boob. Well, on that very personal note, so I'm going to tell y'all good night. And so y'all have been wonderful. Thanks so much for having me. Let's welcome Andy back to the stage. For Danielle Andy. Danielle! Isn't she cute? She's so funny, isn't she?